everybody, it's Jen. I'm going to turn this off until I get started, and then unfortunately it's going to have to come back on, I think, but definitely want to try to start. We're a little bit more quiet. Alright, so today all you're going to need is you're going to need obviously yourself, your space, your mat, your water, all the standard. We have 4 exercises we have 8 exercises, 2 groups of 4. So you're going to need a mat, you're going to need something to do curtsy lunges with if you want to use 1 weight or 2, something to do shoulder presses with. So it can be a medium weight and a lighter weight. That's kind of the plan today. So I have my mat in the area. So let me grab my weight. Alright, so I'm going to grab 8s and 5s. We'll see. So everything's a minute today, so it is a little bit longer. So I definitely would grab lighter weights for sure, because you can always do more. But kind of that's the plan. So we have 4 exercises, take a little break. 4 exercises, take a little break. 4 new, take a break, and then there's 4 again. There is 2, which are 2 high intensity exercises for today. We have high knees and jacks. I'm going to be doing the low intensity version because I'm here on the concrete, and why not? But feel free to definitely increase that intensity up by doing the full version. So, and there may be some times where I'm on the ground kneeling, just stay in frame for like the shoulder presses and stuff. You 100% can stand for those, you can sit for those, you can knit for those, you can do what you need to do. So you can match me, but you definitely don't have to. So no worries in that regard. So we're going to go through the exercises that we're going to do today as our warm-up. So curtsy lunges is the first one. So we're just going to down and up. So we're just going to go back and forth. So you can decide when we do these curtsy lunges, we're going to do them alternating. So right side and then left side. But if you wanted to do 5 to the right and 5 to the left, like down and up, before we switch over, totally fine. Said I'm your coach today. I'm not, you don't have to match me 100%. Well, let's switch it out. Unless, of course, you are rehabbing an injury and that part of your body, there we go, you can do what you need to do. So hopefully I am still alive, because my view just went away. So let me just check really fast. Okay. Okay. Inception. Don't really like it. All right, so coming on up, and I just lost my timer. All the things. All right, so we're gonna do swings. So I'm gonna have my weight in here, and I'm gonna come up. My arms are staying put. So when I do this exercise in real time, I will have my weight with me. But see how my arm is not moving? Like if I'm here, it's everything, all my movement is coming from those hips. So what I can do, if I have a lighter weight, I can do 1, and then switch it out. So when I switch my weight, I actually switch it at the negative gravity point. So right up here, where I can just hang for that tiny bit of a second and switch it out. It's a lot easier that way, I find. And then we have our V squeezes. So we're going to do our weights out here. So you can do 1 arm at a time, which I will probably end up doing because that is awful heavy. You can even do this by yourself, no weights whatsoever. I'm already tired, and it's like 30 seconds in. All right, so then, shake it on out, we have our shoulder presses. So the same thing, you can do 1 arm at a time, totally fine, and I'll probably sit on a ball or kneel here, so I'm in frame. So we have our shoulder presses. We have our jacks and our high knees, so we'll skip those. We're going to come down to the ground. We'll have our mats at this point, but what we're going to be here is we're going to do a plank, and we're going to go down, down, up, up, other side lead, down, down, up, up. One more time each side, down, down, up, up, and down, down, up, up. The last exercise to go over, we have the leg lowers with a crunch. So what we're going to do is you can do one or the other or both. We're going to have our legs come down as far as you feel like they need to come down, where your back pops up. Then you're going to come up, crunch, back down, so you can lower as far down as you need, as far down as you want, and then do that crunch. So we had the alternative actions, so we're not going 100% one exercise for that full minute, but if you want to pick one, do the other, that's totally fine. So each exercise we will go going through twice in total, 1 minute on, 15 seconds off. We're going to start out, we have curtsy lunges, dumbbell swings, jacks, and V squeezes. Those are our first four, that's what we have to worry about. So I'm going to turn my fan on, I'm going to turn the timer on. We do not need our mat for this first grouping, but we will need weights for our V squeezes, and curtsy lunges, and dumbbell swings, okay? Sound good? Let me turn this back on. And I'm going to turn the timer on. And we're going to start with those curtsy lunges. Alternating sides. Alright, so remember, it's 1 minute. So pace yourself. Whatever the depth, you go down on one side, you go down the same as the other. Whatever angle you come out from that hip on one side, you do the other. You get the drill. I thought about doing a minute of one side and then a minute of the other. I got rid of that real quick. It's Friday, we don't want that. But timer's there and you can do it if you want. About 15 more seconds here. All right, then we have our dumbbell swings. I'm going to drop one weight and do switching sides. My preference, you pick yours. All right, remember, hips, this is the lower body exercise here. Hips, glutes, those are the things that are moving. Thirty seconds in. Three, two, one. All right, jumping jacks are next. You could do obviously your standard jack. I'm going to do a lower intensity version. Just taking out that jump, but I stay in a squat. Oh, that's going to be way too loud. Dang it. Oh well. Fans better than nothing. There's a YouTuber who I follow who does workouts, and she doesn't talk at all during the entire workout. It's all on the screen. She does it, you follow along, and it finally dawned on me why when I saw her shorts moving. She has a big, huge honking fan. So that's why. She talks at the beginning, no more talking, so she can have that AC blaring in her face. Whew. Less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we have those V squeezes. I'm just gonna grab a ball to sit on. So I'm in frame. Remember, we're coming out like the letter V. That's the idea. Alright, so right here and back. Go to my left hand, don't hit anything. So shoulder press is here, V squeeze is here. So I think I'm gonna do one arm at a time. Ooh. That angle, obviously we're not pushing or pulling that angle normally during the course of the day, so does not take a lot of weight. I would suggest 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds max for this. Whew. 5 is just a little too much for me today. So change that out for row 2. Whew. All right, taking a break. And I believe I gave ourselves an extra 15 seconds, so we have 30 seconds total before we start from the top. So grab some water. All right, get 15 seconds, and then we start up from the top again with those curtsy lunges. Grab your weights, if you're using them. Less than 30 seconds. See if you can make sure those legs are equaled out. And 3, 2, and down. Even if it takes you a couple extra seconds to equal out the other side, you can always add on that break on the back end. So taking a couple extra seconds away from your dumbbell swings, for example, is totally fine. All right. Let's swing. 30 seconds. Three, 2, 1. All right, we have jacks. Grabbing jacks. Two, 1. Thirty seconds. Four, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, and then we have those V-squeezes. I'm taking a cue from my body and grabbing the lighter weights this time. Much better. Bring those elbows in. Seconds. And then this gives it to our halfway point. We are done with these 4 exercises. Move on to our second grouping, which is the shoulder presses, high knees, up and down planks, and elbow lowers, crunches. So this is a good time to grab your mat during the break and change out whatever weight you want to use for the shoulder presses. Remember, it's a minute. Whew. All right, so we have that 30 seconds to do what we need to do. All right, shoulder presses are up first. Nothing like just mutilating those shoulders, huh? So this is a more normal motion, which your body's probably more familiar with. So you may not need to do as much thinking, but I still want you to worry about keeping that back straight, keeping those shoulders down, keeping those wrists as neutral as possible. And out, holding your breath. And breaking when you need to. Whew. I'm jerking. I am sore. Welcome to Friday. Whew. Less than 10 seconds. And then make sure those weights go out of the way so you don't trip on them for our high knees. So I'm going to be doing the lower intensity version, which is really making sure those knees are up high and equal on both sides, but you can definitely do it faster. Alright, so I can put my hands at my belly button to start to make sure I'm getting that height, and then I can move them away. Seconds, 15 seconds. Then we're going to do the planks, up, down, so we're going to need our mat for those, and our leg lower crunches. And break. All right, elbows down to the ground. All right, so you can be on your knees here if you need to for those up, down planks. And if you're like really into it, you can be in a plank, be here, and then just push straight up, if you can do that. And do both arms at the same time. I definitely have not met anyone who can do it for a minute. So that's something you want to try and do. You can sprinkle them in. Fifteen seconds. All right. either straight crunches or straight leg lowers, or you can alternate them back and forth like I'm going to do. Legs up, drop them as far down as you feel comfortable. Come back up, crunch, back down. Each movement has its own intention. We're not holding our breath. You can also have your knees bent here. Tap down and crunch up if you don't want to do the straight legs. That's totally fine too. Or you can maybe stop there. Stop halfway. Two, one. Woo. All right, grab some water. We have one more round of each of those to go through. And then we're done. I'm literally dripping today. Remember though, sweat does not constitute a good workout. Sweat just constitutes that you're sweating. But I am sweaty today. All right. 30 seconds. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I don't like summer. I hate being hot. You can always put a blanket on. When you're melting, you got nothing. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right, I'll move these out of the way. And then we have those high knees. Really working on the height. This isn't fast feet, where you have just feet moving as fast as you can. These are high knees. So you can have fast feet with high knees, but we're not doing fast feet instead of high knees, if that makes sense. 30 seconds. All right, 2 more exercises, plank up downs. And we're alternating sides. Thirty seconds. 2, and 1. Alright, this is our last minute of work, and then we're just going to stay down here and stretch. If you want to do just crunches, no, that is an option. Drop it down, up, crunch, down. Whew. 15 seconds left. And break. Turn this off. Whew. And let's just hang out here on the ground, grabbing your water, of course. And I'm just going to rock a little side to side. And then drop those feet, cross one leg over, grab behind the other leg, and pull those lower body limbs in. Should feel a nice stretch on this side, on that hip, the outer hip. And let's release. Whew. Other side. And release, turn to the side. Grab that foot. So since we only have like 4 or 5 minutes to stretch, just like we only have 4 or 5 minutes for warming up, please feel free to add on to these. I highly suggest it. And release, oh, they're soft. And release. Come on to a kneeling or sitting on your heels position. Tricep stretch. And other side. Release, bring the arm behind you, cross it behind. And other side. Release, come to a downward dog. Stretch out those calves. Walk those hands back to meet the feet. And then rolling on up. Super slow. Cross one leg over the other. Bring it down. One up. And switch it out other side. Bring it on down. And roll it up. We're done. Super fast, super easy, super sweaty. Have a great rest of your Friday. And I'll see you next week.